Hello and welcome to News 11. I'm Adam McDonald.
And I'm Quincy Walker. Coming up, we'll tell you how you can be prepared for the upcoming elections.
And we'll tell you how Valdosta is remembering a national tragedy. News 11 starts now. If you're planning to vote in the upcoming election and have yet to register, the deadline is fast approaching. For voters submitting absentee ballots, voting will begin on September 22nd. Ballots can be mailed in or you can vote in the county's registrar office that day. For voters who want to get a head start, advanced voting will be held October 27th through the 31st. Polls will be open to all other voters on November 4th from 7 to 7. Don't forget a form of identification such as a valid state or federal government-issued photo ID when going to the polls.
Have you had a chance to meet the newest member of the Valdosta family? News 11's Taina Brazalt gives us an inside look into his role as president of VSU.
This past summer, Dr. Patrick J. Schloss was named the 8th president of Valdosta State University. I caught up with him earlier this week to see how he is adjusting.
I'll tell you what, it is a remarkable community, both academically and in terms of the region around us. I see this as a real student-centered area, a place where the community rallies around its institutions. Valdosta State #1. Maureen and I couldn't be happier.
There is no doubt in his mind that Valdosta State will pass the SACS accreditation with flying colors.
I view accreditation maybe the way an elite athlete might view their sport. It's really an opportunity for us to shine. Lesser schools might be worried about not making it, not doing well. That's not the case with Valdosta. This is our chance to show the accreditors or colleague presidents that this is the premier university in the nation for our type.
He is committed to taking on new challenges here, old and new.
The school is never at a point where you say, well, it's all done, we can rest now. And so there are new challenges, and they probably relate very closely to the old challenges, and we'll be here to tackle them.
Great healthcare programs and extraordinary teacher education are just a few things that he feels are important to our university.
Fully to doing all that I can to help those relationships that involve teaching, learning, and relationship building between people that really care about the future of one another.
Valdosta State University definitely has a lot to look forward to in the years to come with our new president, Dr. Schloss. With VSU News 11, I'm Taina Brazalt.
The mayor and the members of City Council are meeting tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Meetings are held in the city chambers on the second floor of City Hall. Items on the agenda include a presentation from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, consideration of an ordinance to annex, rezone 8 acres land located west side of Bemis Road, and various bids for the Public Works Department. All Valdosta citizens are encouraged to attend.
Tomorrow marks 7 years since the tragic events of September 11th. The City of Valdosta is co-hosting a citywide remembrance service in downtown Valdosta at 7 p.m. The First Baptist Church, located on West Central Avenue, will be holding a non-denominational memorial service where a moment of silence will be led by Mayor John Freddy. The firefighters of Moody Air Force Base will hold a ceremony honoring the firefighters who lost their lives on that dreadful day. President George W. Bush has officially declared September 11th as Patriot Day in memory of the more than 3,000 people who died due to the attacks.
With the start of a new school year came the opening of 2 new parking decks on Oak Street and Sustella Avenue. Both decks were built in the hope of resolving the parking issues here on VSU's campus. Our own Paula Nosworthy has more.
Early last month, VSU announced the opening of the Oak Street and Sustella Avenue parking decks, even though they are not completely finished. The Oak Street deck provides 1,000 spaces, and the Sustella deck provides nearly 1,200. Both decks were built as a resolution to the ongoing parking issues, but how beneficial have they been?
Overall, I think the parking decks are beneficial to the campus because it offers a lot more spots, even though sometimes it may be hard to find one.
There are many benefits to the parking decks, but the one disadvantage, I think, is the fact that VSU added parking fees and didn't tell anybody.
Another concern with the decks is how safe they actually are.
Located on each floor of the parking deck are the actual yellow emergency call boxes. Each one of those are monitored 24/7, and they do offer a video surveillance system as well as a recording system on them. Our regular road patrol division encompasses about 25 different road officers, 2 different shifts. They patrol the parking decks on a 24-hour basis, as well as our security patrollers.
The cameras for both parking decks are expected to be installed in October, as well as the University Police moving into the Oak Street parking deck. For News 11's In Focus, I'm Paula Nosworthy.
Coming up, we'll give you a look at the latest craze in downtown Valdosta.
And Kristen Hayward is standing by with your weather forecast. Stay with us.
Message of the day. Tanning beds are for losers. Their UV rays can be up to 15 times stronger than the sun. They can increase your risk for cancer, including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer. Tanning can cause ugly wrinkles and age spots and can ruin your skin.
Overexposure to UV rays is the leading cause of skin cancer. Be safe. Don't go there. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Anyone who uses a tanning bed is an idiot. So get a life, or you could lose it.
Valdosta, Georgia. It's all you need. With innovative minds that feed a thriving business environment, all with access to international contacts. And a university influence with championship teams. It's premier healthcare and a community that's metropolitan, yet inviting. Valdosta, Georgia, all you need.
Well, you work for the feds, right? Can I find a slightly used hatchback at one of those government auctions? Something roomy but practical, with a sunroof.
With a sunroof.
You know.
USA.gov is your official source for government info. From student loans to government auctions, USA.gov. It's government made easy.
Kristen, it rained earlier today. Can we expect more of the wet stuff?
Yes, it's supposed to rain for the next couple of days, but before we look at that, let's look at the record temperatures. On this day in 1954, the record high was a blazing 100 degrees. The record low is held in 1924 with 59 degrees. Tonight we're expected to see the first sight of rain with a temperature of 79 degrees. And it will continue into tomorrow with a high of 89 and a low of 72. And on Friday, we'll see some more rain due to isolated thunderstorms. But on Saturday and Sunday, you won't need those umbrellas because the sun will be making an appearance with highs in the low 90s. That's your weather. Back to you, Quincy.
Thanks, Kristen. In local news, Lowndes County is cleaning up exact. County commissioners approved a solid waste plan that will take effect on January 1st of 2009. The plan will include a weekly curbside collection of household waste and bi-weekly collections for recyclable items and yard waste. Currently, there is no set rate for this particular service, but is not to exceed $18. Unincorporated residents will still be authorized to use other collection facilities for household waste, recyclable items, and yard waste until the end of this year.
The South Georgia Regional Development Center and Moody Air Force Base are joining forces for the Joint Land Use Study Project, which will benefit both the community and the base. The objective is to evaluate potential impact and current future flight patterns of other military procedures that cause disturbance on surrounding counties and cities. Lowndes, Lanier, and Berrien counties are included in the study because they are affected the most by accidents, noise, and special use airspace. A meeting will be held for citizens to voice their suggestions or concerns. The ultimate goal of JLUS is to minimize potential land use conflicts in these counties and ensure the viability of Moody Air Force Base.
If you like fun and excitement, then First Fridays in downtown Valdosta is the place to be. Meeting new people, live bands, and so much more, how could you miss out? Our own Joy Williams has more.
On the first Friday of each month, downtown Valdosta is buzzing with entertainment, food, and activities for all.
tried to get my husband to come, and next time I'm gonna drag him with me.
When you head downtown, you can expect to hear local musicians play, see local art exhibits, and attend book signings.
I think it's been very good. I was pretty surprised.
It started in 2005 and has attracted an average of more than 1,000 people. This event has shown people that downtown Valdosta is alive every day of the week.
You can have something to look forward to every month. Downtown Valdosta's First Fridays provides food, fun, and entertainment. With VSU News 11, I'm Jory Williams.
The Georgia Department of Corrections is introducing its new fast-track facilities at Valdosta State Prison. There will be an expansion in housing and the number of inmates starting in February 2009. Valdosta is among 7 state prisons to be set on the fast track. The new facilities are designed to use less security staff because of an elevated control center, which gives the guards a clear visual of the entire facility. The condition of restrooms, recreation areas, and dormitories are going to be greatly improved. The new facilities are able to accommodate 1,800 beds for Georgia prisons by the end of the year.
Former Nation of Islam leader W.D. Muhammad has died. He became leader of the Chicago-based Nation of Islam in 1975 after his father's death. He quickly left the extremist chapter. Muhammad led the nation towards Orthodox Islam, which taught racial tolerance. This quickly made him one of the most influential leaders in the Nation of Islam. Muhammad was 74 years old.
Chad Whittle joins us in a moment with sports. Chad, what can we see happening in sports this week?
Well, it doesn't matter what team or what sport that you like. Coming up in sports, we've got it all covered for you next.
Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Kathy Casey Kirschling, the nation's first baby boomer. Like millions of boomers, I'm busy and my time is important to me. So when I became eligible to apply for Social Security, I did it online and it was so easy. So when it's your time to apply, save yourself a trip to an office. Apply online at www.socialsecurity.gov. It's fast, it's easy, above all, secure.
I'd like you to meet my family. We've been through a lot together, inspired by those who came before us, strengthened by those among us, and united by love for our country.
Everyone wants to belong to something great. For thousands of men and women, there's nothing greater than to serve in your nation's Air Force. The United States Air Force, proud to be a part of the spirit of America.
A beautiful university
under the palms and pines of South Georgia,
just above the Florida border,
halfway between Atlanta and Orlando.
We are Valdosta
State University. Outstanding academics, a showplace for the arts,
and the home of champions.
Vision,
success,
and you.
Prepare for your world by coming to ours.
Valdosta State University, building for our next century.
And good evening, sports fans, and welcome to VSU-TV's weekly sports updates, where we give you all the local sports information that your heart desires. The Valdosta State football Blazers are in the midst of a 10-game winning streak dating back to last season. The only thing that has stopped the Blazers from making it 11 straight over the weekend was that there wasn't a game scheduled. But have no fear, Blazer fans, the #1 team in the country is back on the field this Saturday. VSU-TV's Dustin Sweetelson has more.
97, go!
The Blazer football team transitions from its bye week Saturday and takes its first team flight to Magnolia, Arkansas to take on the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders. The two teams meet on diverging paths as the Blazers currently sit atop the AFCA poll and 2-0 on the season, while the Mule Riders are an unranked 0-2. But that doesn't mean the Blazers are sleeping on their first Gulf South Conference opponent.
Well, they're, not as big as some of the teams that we've faced, but they're really fast and physical. They always play us pretty physical. They got some athletes, and the thing is, they're kind of a lot like Newberry. They like to bring everybody and play man-to-man coverage, and they got a lot of good athletes that they can feel they can do that with. And so, we're probably going to have to throw the ball down the field a little bit and try to make some big plays.
The Mule Riders, previously known for their triple option that had given VSU trouble in the past, now mix in some pro-style and spread formations in their offense. Defensively, Southern Arkansas likes to bring the house on blitz packages, but David Dean has seen this before.
Well, they're doing just about everything. They're making us prepare for everything that you can possibly prepare for. They spread us out and throw the ball, and then they'll spread you out and run the option, then they'll bring everybody in a wishbone set and run the option. And that's tough because you have to prepare for all that kind of stuff. And, of course, option football is all assignment football. So we're concentrating a lot this week on assignments, but then at the same time, you can't let all the spread stuff go. So they're doing a little bit of stuff against us offensively and then having to concentrate a lot on the wishbone stuff.
Chris Hart stepped up against Newberry 2 weeks ago with a 10-for-16, 169-yard, one-touchdown performance. That success has continued during this extended run of practices.
Today, Chris Hart looked the best in practice. If I had to give a nod right now on a Tuesday going to a Saturday game, I think Chris Hart would probably be our starter.
Citrus College transfer DeMarcus Flanagan has been cleared by the NCAA to join his teammates on Saturday, and the Blazers got some more positive news Tuesday as Michigan State transfer TJ Williams was also cleared by the NCAA.
I'm so happy for those guys. It's going to help us as a football team, but I'm just happy for them because now they have an opportunity to play. They've been through a lot in the past 4 or 5 weeks. Am I eligible? Am I not? When are they going to decide? And finally, it has been decided this week that they're both going to be able to play. So I'm just happy for them that they have an opportunity to do what they love to do.
With Cedric Jones suiting up this week and Albert Dukes coming off a 4-catch, 60-receiving-yard day, and TJ Williams eligible, the offense may finally be caught up to the defense, which has allowed 12 points over the first 2 games this season. For News 11, I'm Dustin Sweetelson.
Football isn't the only Blazer team in action this weekend. The Lady Blazer Volleyball team takes its 5-4 record to the USC-Aiken Invitational. Starting Friday in Aiken, South Carolina, the ladies will play USC-Aiken and the University of Charleston on Friday, and Newberry and St. Andrews on Saturday. With 5 wins already this season, the volleyball team is halfway to its 2007 win total of 10. The Lowndes Vikings football program has had a Cinderella run over the past 4 years. The Vikings have won 3 of the last 4 states championships, helped the city of Valdosta win ESPN's Titletown USA, and is ranked 2nd in the ESPN Top 50 poll of best high school football teams in the country. So what is next? What is Lowndes' next challenge? Well, it's beating the Ware County Gators of Waycross. The Gators were the state's runner-up in Class 4A last season. Coming into Martin Stadium this Friday night, the Gators are 1-1, while the Vikings are 2-0. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. Now, not to be outdone by their crosstown rival, the Valdosta Wildcats look to improve to 3-0 also. The Wildcats are off to a 9-3 camp. They had a 9-3 campaign in 2007, and they've hammered their first 2 opponents in 2008 by a combined score of 96-14. Valdosta, the winningest school in the nation, is ranked 7th in the state in Class 5A, and that doesn't appear to be in jeopardy this Friday night with Jonesboro coming into town. The Cardinals are unranked and squeaked by Monroe 21-14 last week. Kickoff at Blazemore Hatter Stadium is at 8 p.m. Now, switching sports now, we turn back to Valdosta State and take a look at the men's basketball schedule, which was released last week. The Blazers have an excellent chance to get off to a hot start because the first 11 games of the season will be played in the friendly confines of the PE complex. The first game of the season is Saturday, November 15th against Carver. The Blazers play important region games at home against Florida Southern and Tampa in the early going and don't go on the road until December 20th. Now, as always, the big games on the home schedule are West Georgia on January 15th and North Alabama 2 days later on the 17th. The Lady Blazers basketball schedule was also released last week. Like the men, the Laters begin the season on Saturday, November 15th. When they play Puerto Rico, the Lady Blazers have several early tests in region play as they have Tampa, Albany State, Eckerd, and Nova Southeastern on the docket. After the new year, the Lady Blazers welcome in arch rivals West Georgia and North Alabama on January 15th and 17th, respectively. This year's women's basketball squad will feature 11 new players. Valdosta was Winterville's first, and now we're ESPN Titletown USA. And ever since we won that big trophy, the question around town has been where to put it. Well, after weeks of debate, the trophy finally has a home. Local school and city officials, including John Freddie, our illustrious mayor, has decided that the trophy will be on display at the James H. Rainwater Conference Center. The trophy will be in a case along with items from Valdosta City and Lowndes County schools that will be used to tell the story of Valdosta football. Now it's a new football season, and the Falcons are hoping that their new rookie quarterback, Matt Ryan, will bring them better results than the past few seasons have. He got his first chance at NFL stardom against the Detroit Lions in the first quarter. Matt Ryan's first pass, he hooks up with Michael Jenkins, and Jenkins takes the ball 62 yards for the Falcons' first TD of the very young season. Later on in the first, Michael Turner gets his first touchdown as a Falcon as he runs 66 yards, putting the Falcons up 14-zip. The Falcons start making it look easy as Michael Turner runs the ball in for an easy 5-yard touchdown. Not only did he get 2 touchdowns in this game, he also set a Falcons record with 220 yards, breaking an old team record. Falcons win this one easy, 34-21, and that is a look at sports.
Thanks, Chad. You know, speaking of football, now's the time to stock up on those football snacks. Coming up, we'll tell you why.
And get your spoons ready for a VSU annual event. Stay with us.
I joined the National Guard and never thought I'd be saving lives.
It's more than money for college. It's built my character and given me a sense of accomplishment. Now I'm on a career path and I'm the leader of my team.
I put on the uniform and I have a whole new outlook on life. Country, community, family. That's what matters most to me. If that matters to you, go to 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
When you drive for a living, you buckle up every time, whether you drive one of these or one of these. Truckers know what I'm talking about because no matter how good a driver you are, trouble can still happen. That's when you want to keep your safety belt on to keep you steady, behind the wheel, in control, and looking out for everybody. Safety is a professional driver's responsibility. Remember, you're the one who drives for a living.
A message from the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Across America, service learning is helping students improve their grades and their communities by connecting the classroom with community service. Working together, students solve real problems, build new skills, and apply their knowledge in a whole new way. Inside the classroom and out, service learning opens new doors and brings learning to life. Get your school involved. Visit learnandserve.gov to find out how.
One of America's favorite snack foods is now going to cost you more. Due to the flooding in the Midwest this spring, there is a shortened supply of potatoes. Potato chip manufacturers rely on 400,000 pounds of potatoes per week in order to make the crispy snack food. They have to charge more, which can increase the price of chips by $1.50. Also, your favorite brands may be harder to find. With fall harvest still 3 weeks away, prices will remain high until more potatoes are grown.
The Valdosta Choral Guild's guest director this season is Paul Neal. Neal is a Valdosta State University's Director of Choral Studies and Assistant Conductor with the Valdosta Symphony Orchestra. The Choral Guild, formed in the 1970s, has many members who participated for years. The group regularly welcomes new participants for its annual Christmas and spring concerts. Rehearsals will begin Monday, September 15th at 7:30 to 9 at the First Baptist Church Choral Room at 200 West Central Avenue for its fall concert.
The owner of Coney Island's Astroland said she is calling it quits, and the historic amusement park closed for good last Sunday. Carol Albert, whose family has owned the Brooklyn Amusement Park for almost half a century, said she gave up on negotiating a 2-year lease with Thor Equities after the developer missed a Thursday deadline to reply. Thor spokesman Stephen Friedman said the company is extremely disappointed that Carol has decided to give up on the future of Coney Island when her current lease isn't even up for a number of months. Albert said she wanted a 2-year lease this time to cover the summers of 2009 and 2010 because her employees needed job security. Astroland Park was opened in 1962. With 24 rides on 3 acres, Astroland covers a large part of Coney Island. Many rides, including the historic coaster and wheel, are not part of Astroland and are not affected by the announcement. Albert sold the Astroland acreage to Thor Equities 2 years ago for $30 million and has said the rides would be dismantled and auctioned off when the park closed. Thor had planned to break ground next year on a $1.5 billion complex, including high-rise hotels and New York's first new roller coaster since the Wooden Cyclone was built 75 years ago.
Today is the last day to register for the 2008 Chile Cookoff, Chillin' with the Champs. The Cookoff will be at 10 a.m. on Saturday, September 20th. The Office of University Events and Ceremonies is waiving the entry fees for the first 3 VSU organizations to register. The cost is $50 per team and $25 per individual. The grand prize winner will take home $300. The judging begins around 5 p.m. and winners will be announced at 6. Afterwards, the public is invited to sample the entrees.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Adam McDonald.
And I'm Quincy Walker. We'll see you next week.
Hello and welcome to News 11. I'm Amanda Sermons.
And I'm Jenny Long. Coming up, we'll tell you how the Federal Reserve Bank rescued the AIG company.
And we'll tell you how Hurricane Ike caused a mad rush to the gas pump. News 11 starts now.
Yeah, it's
On Monday, the Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy, sending Wall Street into a tizzy. This action has cost 26,000 people their jobs. This is the largest bankruptcy in U.S. history. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost more than 500 points, more than 4%, its steepest point drop since the day the stock market reopened after the September 11th attacks. Michael Baxter, an economist at De facto, stated that this suggests that the credit crunch is not over or near the end or halfway through, as people have suggested, because banks are going to be more reluctant to lend to each other. Barclays has saved 8,500 jobs out of 26,000 in an agreement made after Lehman Brothers filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
The Federal Reserve Bank of New York has been given permission from the federal government to lend $85 billion to rescue collapsing company American International Group, better known as AIG. In return, the federal government will receive a 79.9% stake in the company. Officials decided that they had to act lest the nation's largest insurer file bankruptcy. Such a move would roll world markets since AIG has $1.1 trillion in assets and 75 million clients in 130 countries. An eventual liquidation of the company is most likely, but with the government loan, the company will not have to go through a tumultuous fire sale. AIG is the largest insurer for life, homeowners, and businesses.
Gas prices soared Friday as Hurricane Ike approached the Gulf Coast. Many consumers headed to the pump in search of gasoline, fearing it would run out. As a result of the fuel scare, many gas stations began raising prices. News 11's Tamnitz Manier has more.
Due to the threat of Hurricane Ike approaching the Gulf Coast region, many citizens in Valdosta, as well as the state of Georgia, were sent into a crazed panic as they feared for a rapid increase in gas due to the possibility of Hurricane Ike disrupting the production and distribution of gasoline. As consumers headed to the pump in search for the cheapest price for fuel, several gas stations began to engage in unlawful practices such as price gouging. On Friday, September 12th, Governor Sonny Perdue imposed the state of Georgia statute to prevent price gouging in the state. Mayor John J. Freddy signed an executive order as well to protect Valdosta consumers from the unlawful increase in gas prices. Georgia, as well as Valdosta's price gouging statute, prevents retailers from selling goods or services at an unreasonable price. The city of Valdosta will continue to monitor the local fuel situation. Citizens are asked to continue to be patient with the situation as well as conserve gasoline as much as possible. For News 11, I'm Tanis Maynard.
Friday afternoon, Mayor John Freddy signed an executive order to protect Valdosta consumers from local gas stations gouging prices. Local gas prices rose as OPEC monitored Hurricane Ike's movement and the effects on the oil situation. Prices reached as high as $4.37 Sunday. In the Azalea City and the Valdosta Police Department will be on a higher alert, patrolling the community for possible gas price gouging.
Parking at VSU is becoming more and more congested, and with the new neighborhood parking restrictions, things could become more hectic for students. News 11's Markeisha Cannon has more.
Students have been complaining for years about the parking at VSU, and with 2 brand new parking decks, that problem still exists. Some students have resorted to parking in the neighborhoods across from the campus. Parking on streets that lie east of Patterson, Sustella, Azalea, Iola, Mary, and Alden have been restricted from 1 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. daily. This has caused many students to complain about finding places to park.
I don't really see the point in it. I don't see the point between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock between traffic flow. Matter of fact, I think at 11 o'clock, the traffic through the streets is probably more intense due to lunchtime hours.
Some neighbors seem to not mind that the students are parking in front of their homes to attend classes.
For me, I can't really speak for everybody else, but for me, the situation is pretty nice as far as parking goes. But
to inform students about the change, parking officials have been placing flyers on all cars parked on those streets. City officials believe that this very simple change will eliminate a lot of the traffic in the neighborhoods. If you have any questions, you can visit www.valdosta.edu/parking. Reporting for News 11 and Focus, I'm Markeisha Cannon.
The S&M Food Mart on North 4th Street was robbed last Friday afternoon. A black male wearing the white face mask from the horror movie Scream entered the S&M Food Mart on 704 North 4th Street. Carrying a rifle, the masked man demanded money from the store clerk. The robber took an undisclosed amount of cash and fled the premises. While officers investigated the scene, several witnesses outside the store said no one was injured during the robbery. The robber is still at large.
Coming up, we'll tell you about a recent execution in Georgia.
And Jory Williams is standing by with our weather. Stay with us.
Valdosta State University is
more beautiful,
more choices,
friendly, creative, inquiring,
more supportive,
more outreach,
more champions,
more international,
more impact,
more spirit,
more.
Christopher, your word is SIPC.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
In the unlikely event that your brokerage firm goes out of business, SIPC is there to protect you.
SIPC. C-I...
Don't know about SIPC, the Securities Investor Protection Corporation? That's okay. We can spell it out for you. Learn more at www.sipc.org.
She passed away about 6 months ago. It was really hard to learn that there was no cure. So we sought hospice care. The hospice people, they really helped. They made her feel comfortable. And they helped me and the girls, especially the girls. They're helping us get through this loss. Now, hospice people, they're good people. They're really good people.
So, Jory, how's the weather looking for the remainder of the week?
Well, we may have some thunderstorms to look forward to this weekend, but for now we're going to take a look at the record highs and lows. Back in 1927, we had a record high of 101 degrees, with a record low back in 2001 of 53.
Tonight we have a slight chance of rain with a low of 66, and that leads on into tomorrow with a 30% chance of rain. This weekend you can go ahead and get out your raincoats for the football games because there is isolated thunderstorms that last throughout the weekend, and the highs stay into the 80s and the lows drop back down into the 60s. And that's your forecast. Back to Jenny.
Thank you, Jory. Jack Alderman became the 20th man to be executed by lethal injection in Georgia on Tuesday evening. It took a mere 14 minutes for the alderman to be declared dead by officials. He was convicted of murdering his wife, Barbara Alderman, in the Chatham County for over $10,000 in insurance money. None of the alderman's family members witnessed his execution. One of his last recorded statements to the public was that he wanted to thank everyone who helped make his life better, considering the circumstances.
The Valdosta area has been ranked as one of the nation's top 5 advanced manufacturing location sites. Lowndes County was selected as an advanced manufacturing location due to the community's business climate, location, and workforce training. The Valdosta Lowndes area will be recognized in the October edition of the Expansion Solutions magazine.
Americans between the ages of 10 and 24 had the highest sexually transmitted disease rates in the U.S., and Georgia ranks 3rd in the nation. Valdosta State University students and other college towns are at high risk due to the number of students coming from so many different locations. All STDs are not curable, but all are treatable. If not treated in time, all STDs can cause long-term health issues. Students at VSU are encouraged to visit the Lowndes County Health Department, located on 206 Patterson Street, to find out their status. For more information and facts, students can also visit the Farber Health Center or go to lifescript.com.
Valdosta State University's Counseling Center received full accreditation from the International Association of Counseling Services. The announcement was made earlier this month and makes VSU one of only 4 schools in the university system of Georgia to receive this prestigious honor. Dr. Vic Morgan, the Counseling Center Director, takes great pride in heading a program to get noticed by the IACS in order to be eligible for accreditation. The university must stand out in personal and group counseling, as well as therapy services provided to the students experiencing obstacles while at school. For more information, contact the Counseling Center at 333-5940.
With each new school year, colleges and universities are faced with hundreds of new students, which has resulted in overcrowded campuses. News 11 Kristen Hayward has more on the issue.
Colleges and universities across the nation have started a new school year, which means fresh faces on campus. With the student population growing, schools are trying to relieve the overcrowding of student facilities such as dorms and dining areas. I spoke to the Director of Admissions and Enrollment, Walter Peacock, and he said there are about 11,500 students currently enrolled at Valdosta State University. Some freshmen and returning students were placed on a waiting list due to the overcrowded dorm situation. Fortunately, Hopper Hall opened this fall, which houses 500 students. In the fall of 2009, VSU is expecting the total enrollment to be about 12,000 students. Also, the new Student Union and Georgia Hall are in the process of being built, which will add more dining choices and housing for students. The student population is growing, but the campus is beginning to expand to accommodate and hopefully relieve future overcrowding issues. Reporting for News 11, I'm Kristen Hayward.
VSU and Rape Aggression Defense Systems are offering 3 self-defense classes for women this month. Taught by certified RAD instructors, each course focuses on education, awareness, and prevention of assault. Suitable for women of all ages and abilities, the RAD system teaches self-defense concepts and techniques to women nationwide. The courses are free and open to all VSU female students. Enrollment can be completed online and will be filled on a first-come, first-served basis. September's courses are already full, but more are offered in October and November. Classes will be held on the VSU campus.
So Dustin, what's coming up on sports?
Well, we've got a story on a Wildcat becoming a Bulldog, and we'll update everybody on the Blazer football team's extended break.
Stay with us.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
The unveiling.
Oh, you look perfect.
Today, people seem to care a lot more about how good they look than how well they see. And that's a big mistake, because an eye doctor can see things you can't, like the first signs of glaucoma, diabetes, and high blood pressure. For men and women over 40, it might be wise to look into your eyes. Visit checkyearly.com. A message from the Vision Council of America and AARP.
Welcome to Valdosta State University. Beautiful, isn't it? Are you upset about pesticides in your food, crude oil in your oceans, littering in our streets, clear-cutting of national forests, the killing of dolphins and sea turtles, destruction of wetlands? Now's the time to join Students Against Violating the Environment. SAVE helps by raising awareness among the student and faculty body about environmental issues on campus, in the community, and around the world. It's easy to make a difference. Simply call this number and join SAVE. Think globally, act locally.
Good afternoon, Titletown. I'm Dustin Sweetelson. This is your local sports update. After this football season is over, one Valdosta Wildcat will take off his gold and black and put on the famed red and black. VSU-TV's Chad Whittle has more from Valdosta High School.
Valdosta's senior linebacker Michael Gillard became the first Wildcat in 10 years to sign to play football for the University of Georgia.
Well, like I say, it's a dream come true. Like, ever since I was young, I wanted to wear the black and gold and everything like that. So, and like, it just, I don't know, it's basically next year I'll be playing for the Georgia Bulldogs. It's just a dream come true just to know that I had the chance to wear the black and gold.
Michael is proud to be a Wildcat, and getting to be the first in over 10 years to play for Georgia means a lot to him.
Like Mark Rick, like he's one of the greatest coaches in the country, and Georgia Bulldogs, like, ever since I was young, I just wanted to go to that school.
Michael is very proud of his God-given talent to play football, but he also knows that it takes a lot of practice to get better at the game.
I knew I was pretty good at football, but I just didn't know, like, I have all these scholarship offers and everything like that. But like I say, I worked hard, and this was the results.
Before he moves to Athens to play Between the Hedges, he's got a few things he would like to accomplish before he leaves Valdosta.
Well, basically my senior year, I want to get the state championship, and hopefully I want to be a defensive player of the year.
Look for Michael Gillard representing the city of Valdosta proudly next year as a Georgia Bulldog. Reporting for News 11 Sports, I'm Chad Whittle.
Gillard and his Wildcats have a tall task in front of them this Friday night. The Cats will travel to Warner Robins to play Northside, the defending 4A state champions. The Eagles have won 33 consecutive games and haven't lost since 2005. However, it's Northside Warner Robins' first year in Region 1 5A, home of Valdosta and Lowndes. The game is the first for each team in region play. Northside is currently ranked 3rd in the state, while the Wildcats are ranked 8th. Kickoff between the two schools is at 7:30. Expect a barn burner. The crosstown rival of the Cats will have their work cut out for them too. The Lowndes Vikings open region play Friday night at home against Colquitt County. The Vikings are 3-0 this season, as are the Packers. Colquitt's fading football program was rejuvenated this past offseason with the acquisition of head coach Rush Probst, former head man of Hoover High in Alabama. Hoover, of course, is the team featured on MTV's hit show Two-A-Days. The matchup between Probst and Lowndes head coach Randy McPherson features 9 state championships. This should be a good one. When the Blazer football team hosts Ouachita Baptist Saturday, it will be the first time in 21 days the defending national champs actually play some football. David Dean's team has been unable to avoid hurricanes during the 2008 campaign. Hurricane Faye made her presence known week 1 against Fort Valley, and last week, Hurricane Ike canceled the Blazers Gulf South Conference opener at Southern Arkansas. This week, Ouachita Baptist comes to town for Parents Weekend with a 2-0 record and a chance to knock off the defending champs. Here's what the team has to say.
Yeah, we're ready, man. I'm tired of hitting against my teammates every day. But they're a pretty good team, but, I mean, we're up for the challenge.
We've actually had a lot of enthusiasm out here. I think they realize there's no hurricane hanging over their head, and they know that we're going to have an opportunity to finally play football. I feel like that we've gone through spring practice now the last probably the last 4 weeks, and now we're ready to start the season. But they're excited. They're ready to go. I think they're finally excited to know that they're going to actually be hitting somebody else that doesn't wear a silver helmet.
I mean, it's been fun practicing with guys. The offense kind of struggled against Newberry, so I mean, we had a good chance of we got to get together as a team, you know, come together. That's what we had to do. It's been long, ready to hit somebody though, other than DeMario Jones.
It's been tough, man, especially with the game being canceled and all, but we stand up, we keeping each other up and everything, and trust me, everybody ready to go out here and beat them.
We're going to take out a lot of frustration on those guys. But they're a very good football team. You know, we can't go out there and play out of control. We got to play with a lot of enthusiasm. We got to play with a lot of heart. But also we got to play under control and know our alignment and our assignments and our action, and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do to make us successful and not playing out of control.
The Valdosta State volleyball team has caught fire. The Lady Blazers took all 3 matches at the USC-Aiken Invitational over the weekend. The ladies beat the University of Charleston 3-2 on Friday and then swept Newberry and St. Andrews on Saturday. The Lady Blazers are now 8-6 on the season. The team only won 10 games last year. That win total can be matched over the weekend when the ladies take their show on the road to West Alabama on Friday and Montevallo on Saturday. Those 2 games mark the beginning of Gulf South Conference play. VSU's fall tennis season began over the weekend in Thomasville at the Thomasville Collegiate Invitational. Dominique Rothlander won the women's singles match, while Rafael Durante and Corrine Redon teamed up to win the women's doubles title. The men's doubles team of Odo Leonard and Leos Jelinek also claimed the doubles title. VSU All-American singles player Florian Halb fell just short to Auburn Montgomery's Francisco Redondo in the final of the men's singles. The tennis teams will be back in action at VSU on September 25th. And that's what's happening in sports.
Thanks, Dustin. Coming back, we'll tell you a little bit about what a Valdosta woman did to help the Valdosta State Orchestra.
And about a ceremonial groundbreaking on VSU's campus.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
Look, honey, it's my Social Security statement.
Oh, gosh, how are we going to retire on that?
Never fear, young savers.
It's Savings Man.
You need to save more. You'll need this.
Oh, the ballpark estimate worksheet.
That's right. Get it at choosetosave.org and find out how much you'll need to save for your future.
Gee, thanks, Savings Man.
No, thank you.
So visit choosetosave.org and stay tuned for more Savings Man.
Half of young Americans can't locate economic powers like Japan and India. 20% can't even find the Pacific Ocean. Without geography, our children aren't ready for the world. Understanding connections between people and places is critical. So we created mywonderfulworld.org. Go there now for your free action kit. Help kids understand their world today so they can succeed in it tomorrow.
Guys, what do you got? Got a 28-year-old black male, got 3 gunshot wounds to the chest. 1 upper chest, 1 lower chest, 1 center. Bleeding a lot.
There are 2 paths a child can take.
Sir, try not to move. Still.
We have a 28-year-old male.
For over 25 years, we've been helping children choose the right one. Communities and schools, helping kids stay in school and prepare for life.
Miss Leona Strickland Hudson never attended the Valdosta Symphony Orchestra, but in her will, she left the VSO $500,000. Hudson always had an interest in the orchestra and regularly taped the Sunday night broadcast of the VSO on VSU-TV, Channel 11. This money will enable the VSO to invite the best group of artists available. The money will be invested as an endowment into the Valdosta State University Foundation. The endowment will produce as much as $30,000 a year for the VSO. The concert master chair will be named in Hudson's honor. The rest of Hudson's estate will be donated to many different charitable organizations. Just a reminder, you can watch the Valdosta Symphony Orchestra right here on VSU-TV.
During the Art After Dark series, the Valdosta Playhouse will be screening the new documentary, A Child of the Sun, directed by Michael Miner. The subject of the film is famous American architect Frank Lloyd Wright. He was known for his ability to capture the beauty of nature and the technology of man. The main focus of the film is Wright's most widely known collection of buildings in Florida Southern College in Lakeland. The film was named A Child of the Sun because this is how Wright described his buildings at the college. The showing is sponsored by the Theater Guild Valdosta and the American Institute of Architects. It will be shown on Friday, September 19th at 7:30 p.m. for $10. For more information, call Theater Guild Valdosta at 247-8243.
Heavy machine operators prepared the former site of the old gym and student union on VSU's campus Tuesday for a state-of-the-art 120,000 square foot student union. The campus will host a ceremonial groundbreaking at 4 p.m. on September 24th.
Angel Food Ministries is a nonprofit organization that has been giving back to families since 1994. With host sites across the U.S., the ministry is able to help families no matter where they are. Our own Paula Noseworthy has more.
Angel Food Ministries is a nonprofit, non-denominational organization that is dedicated to helping families in need. The ministry was founded by Pastors Joe and Linda Wingo in 1994. They started helping 35 local families in Monroe, Georgia that were affected by the industrial plant closings. Ever since then, the ministry has been serving a variety of nutritious and healthy food through host sites across the United States. I caught up with the local host site here in Valdosta, the Ministry of Salvation in Christ Church, to see why they chose to be a part of this ministry.
We wanted to be a blessing to the community with the Angel Food Ministry. Low cost of food, you can have half price, then you can get at the store.
Because of their dedication, Angel Food Ministries now feeds over 500,000 families in over 35 states. And with 3 locations in Valdosta, you can be next. To purchase food or become a host site, you can call 1-877-FOOD-MINISTRY. For News 11, I'm Paula Noseworthy.
Winn-Dixie Stores Incorporated has announced that customers can help their neighbors affected by the 2008 hurricane season by simply donating at any neighborhood Winn-Dixie. All 521 stores is implementing its Neighbors Helping Neighbors program as a way to assist the American Red Cross, which has been its disaster relief fund depleted after an active year of disasters. You can find donation sheets available at all registers, where you can donate an amount between $50 and $500 directly to the American Red Cross.
This weekend promises to be exciting as students and their parents come together to experience life at Valdosta State. Parents Weekend is an annual opportunity for students and their family to discover the wonder of VSU. Registration is currently open for Parents Weekend, which is scheduled for Friday, September 19th and Saturday, September 20th. Participants will enjoy a concert on Palms Quad, a Southern-style lunch, an academic expo, a planetarium show, and a cheer on the VSU Blazers as they take on the Wichita Baptist Tigers at 7 p.m. Saturday. For more information, call the Office of Student Life at 333-5674.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Amanda Sermon.
And I'm Jenny Long. We'll see you next week.
Hello and welcome to News 11. I'm Ashley Lindquist.
And I'm Paula Noseworthy. Coming up, we have breaking news as the FBI has announced an investigation into Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Plus, we have an update on the federal Wall Street bailout. News 11 starts now.
FBI is investigating Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Lehman Brothers, AIG, and their executives for possible mortgage fraud. FBI officials stated that 26 firms are under investigation as part of the Bureau's mortgage fraud inquiry. Over 1,400 real estate lenders, brokers, and appraisers are being investigated as well. The probes into the corporations are in the early stages. Last week, AIG barely avoided bankruptcy as the federal government took 80% of its equity in exchange for an $85 billion loan from the Federal Reserve. Lehman Brothers filed the largest bankruptcy in U.S. history last week.
The Treasury Secretary and the Federal Reserve Chairman are desperately trying to convince lawmakers to quickly approve a massive Wall Street bailout so the U.S. can avoid a possible economic disaster. Atia Abawi is in Washington with more.
America's two top money men sat in the Senate hot seat Tuesday, enduring rigorous questioning and giving dire warnings if Congress does not act soon on a proposed $700 billion bailout plan. Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson and Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke pushed for the authority to help weaken financial institutions.
The economy will just not be able to recover in a normal, healthy way, no matter what other policies are taken. I therefore think this is a precondition for a good, healthy recovery by our economy.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have expressed skepticism about the plan. Some senators say they don't want their constituents paying the price again for another government bailout.
I don't think a single call to my office when this proposal has been positive.
It is a financial socialism, and it's un-American.
And what do those footing the bill think? The average American.
I feel it's a waste of money. They need to stop giving away these $100 million bonuses to individuals who run companies that's going into the ground.
I just feel like I hear so many different opinions. Like it's not like a factual thing to talk about anymore, because like you can hear the same story from one person and it just seems like completely different than what the next person's going to tell you. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it's just all political.
An armed robbery occurred at a local gas station here in Valdosta. According to Valdosta police, the masked male suspect held up a gas station on Patterson Street at gunpoint and demanded an undisclosed amount of money. The suspect left the scene of the crime on foot. A local citizen saw the man enter a bronze Honda Accord that police was able to track down and follow. The chase eventually led police to capturing the suspect. The suspect is being held without bond at the Lowndes County Jail.
A deputy of the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office has been charged with 2 counts of indecency after turning himself into the Lowndes County Jail on Friday. Reports state that on September 11th, around 3:20, as children were walking from a residential area bus stop, a child reported seeing a naked man standing exposed in his front doorway. After the incident was reported to the Valdosta Police, an investigation was done by the Valdosta Police Department Bureau of Investigation. The deputy was released on a $2,000 bond, and according to the Sheriff's Office, he has resigned from his position.
This school year, Valdosta State University has partnered with the Valdosta school system for a new early college program. Amanda Sermons has more.
Early College Academy is an intervention strategy for students who may not be well served by traditional classrooms. This school year, Valdosta State University is teaming up with the Valdosta City School System to launch a new Early College Academy. The academy is one of 6 added this school year, which makes 12 in the state of Georgia. This year at Valdosta Early College Academy, there are 36 6th grade students who are divided into 2 18-student classrooms. The students' curriculum is hands-on and allows each student to work in groups to complete their assignments.
Our particular program is unique in that it begins with the 6th grade, and the emphasis is on science, math, and technology.
The program's initiative seeks to change the face of higher education by targeting students traditionally underrepresented on college campuses. This is accomplished by offering students a challenging middle high school curriculum along with college courses. Each year following this school year, 2 more 6th grade classes will be added until the school supports 6th through 12th grade. For VSU News 11, I'm Amanda Sermons.
Freddie Lewis Hudson Jr., a 21-year-old graphic design major at Valdosta State, recently returned home with a new look on life. The Columbia, South Carolina native put his education on hold last spring when the Air Force Reserve satellite communicator was sent to Iraq to defend his country. Hudson felt that he would be in great danger, but luckily he stayed out of the line of fire. He came in contact with some Iraqi soldiers, but stated the soldiers had a lot of good interaction with the Iraqi children. Hudson will continue to go after his art degree and his duties as a member of the United States Air Force. Coming up, we'll tell you about some local gopher tortoises who have returned to their natural habitat.
And Tanis Maynard is standing by with the weather. Stay with us.
Because of them, 5 million people do not have polio. Because of them, families will not have to beg for a meal tonight. Because of them, thousands of high schoolers will never be known as dropouts. They are the 1.2 million members of Rotary, everyday people working together to push hope forward. Rotary, humanity in motion.
I don't want to go blind from diabetes.
I don't want to lose a foot or a leg.
I don't want to have kidney failure, so I'm taking control. I'm controlling my diabetes.
It's making a huge difference.
I'm eating healthy and staying physically active.
I'm taking my medicine.
If I can do it, anyone can.
Control your diabetes for life. Call 1-800-438-5383.
Hello, I'm Paul Newman. America is the land of the free and the home of the brave, but we can't forget those who made it that way. Men and women who sacrificed life and limb to protect our freedom. For more than 80 years, the Disabled American Veterans has been committed to building better lives for disabled veterans and their families. If you want to help the men and women who fought for our freedom, contact the Disabled American Veterans today.
So Tanis, the weather's really been cooling off lately. What's going on?
That is absolutely correct. As most of you are well informed of, Monday, September 22nd, marked the first day of fall. So in regards to that, in 1925, the record high was 100, and in 1983, there's a record low of 47. Now, headed into the overnight forecast, there'll be clear and cool skies with a low of 59 degrees. And tomorrow, there'll be partly sunny with the high of 81 degrees and a low of 57. As we head into the weekend, we're going to have beautiful weather, as it's going to be in the mid-80s. So I'd advise you to go out and enjoy this weather while we still have it. On Friday, the high will be 84 with a low of 59. On Saturday, it'll be a high of 85 with a low of 62. And heading into Sunday, there'll be a high of 86 with a low of 63. Back to you, Paula.
20 gopher tortoises were released into the wild this past weekend at Reed Bingham State Park in Adel, Georgia. News 11's Jenny Long has the details.
This past Saturday at Reed Bingham State Park in Adel, Head Start Project released 20 gopher tortoises into the wild. VSU grad student Kristen Chesler is working with this program for her thesis.
We took a bunch of measurements of them today, and what we will be doing when we do release them is they do have little ID tags. It's basically like you would put in your cat or dog. And we do have this little scanner that you can just hook up once we do find them, after we do release them. And you just scan it, and then you do come up with a number. So that will make it easy for us to track these guys, and the little ID tags do have a 90-year lifespan. So they will definitely grow with the tortoise and live with them, because they can live up to about 60 years in the wild.
The Head Start Project is placing tracking devices into the baby gopher tortoises. The gopher tortoises are being placed into the wild with small tracking devices that will follow the growth throughout their lives. Recently, they were placed on the endangered species list, and tracking their growth in the wild will show what can be done to get them off the list. This sparked the interest of Animal Planet and sent a crew to the releasing. Today at Reed Bingham State Park, they released 20 gopher tortoise babies into the wild. On October 11th, they will be releasing 80. They encourage the public to come and send off the babies into the wild. I'm Jenny Long for News 11.
After months of battling with Republicans in the White House, Democrats decided to let the offshore oil drilling ban expire. The ban, which is set to expire next week, has been around for more than a quarter-century and avoids drilling off the Atlantic and Pacific coasts. With gasoline prices over $4 a gallon, amending the ban has been a key campaign issue for Republicans. President Bush lifted an executive ban on offshore drilling.
After 4 months of being on the Foundation of Individual Rights for Education's Red Alert list, Valdosta State has updated its free speech policy and has finally been removed from the list. VSU was added to the list in June after the expulsion of a student who posted a controversial image on Facebook.com. Fire places institutions on its Red Alert list for failure to uphold students' fundamental rights. Under VSU's new speech policy, anyone is able to speak on campus in the Palms Quadrangle between noon and 1 p.m. or from 5 to 6 p.m.
With gas prices soaring through the roof, many Valdosta State University students are beginning to ride their bicycles to save gas and steer clear of traffic. News 11's Albert Farley has more.
The number of students enrolled at Valdosta State University have hit an all-time high in 2008. The campus is crowded, and finding a park seems to be harder than ever. Many students who stay close to or on campus have decided to ride their bicycles instead of dealing with the hassle of parking. Many students use their bikes to save gas and avoid traffic, but must also follow the rules as if they are on the highway. Cyclists, motorists, and pedestrians must be aware of each other to avoid accidents that have happened in the past. Some students who choose to walk have mixed feelings about the cyclists on and around campus.
Me personally, as far as the bicycle situation, I feel that it's okay because our campus isn't that big, so it would be okay for those, to ride their bicycles back and forth to campus and everything. But personally, I also think that you can walk. You can catch the shuttle buses, go to class, get dropped off at the numerous stops that we have, and walk to class.
I ride my bike around campus because it's quick, saves me gas, and it's healthy for me. Maybe there are problems with people walking around and people trying to get through on bikes, but maybe I don't have a problem with it.
I live really close to campus, and it's a lot faster for me to bike than it is for me to drive my car. And I also have to go from one side of campus to the other so I can get there faster. And I think it's great to save gas, and it's fast, and there is a big problem with people walking around, but I think if you're just very considerate of people walking, then there's not a problem.
For a list of bicycle rules of safety, students can visit www.valdosta.edu. For News 11, I'm Albert Farley.
Oil prices are rising again after the government reported a surprise drop in U.S. crude supplies. The Energy Information Administration said crude supplies fell by 1.5 million barrels to 290 million barrels for the week ending September 19th. Analysts surveyed by energy information provider Platts had expected oil stocks to rise by 1.6 million barrels. Hurricanes Gustav and Ike forced widespread shutdowns of energy installation in the Gulf of Mexico. Light sweet crude for November delivery was up $1.28 at $107.89 a barrel on the New York Mercantile Exchange. So, Adam, what's been going on with sports?
Well, Paula, it's late September, and in Valdosta, that means a lot of football, and we'll have that next.
Stay with us.
On the football field, you've got to stay focused and not get distracted. The same is true on the road, so before your wireless phone becomes a distraction, take a timeout for safety. In bad weather or traffic, call later, dial sensibly, and use a hands-free device. Your wireless phone can be your best safety tool. To call for help, stop a crime, however you use it, remember, with wireless, safety is your call.
Valdosta, more than you know, a place where kids dream and kind hearts prevail. In a setting full of recreation and excitement for all ages. A city of vibrant growth, career opportunities, and a thriving business environment. Combined with progressive thinking, it's about exploring your future. Valdosta, Georgia, more than you know.
August 9th, 1999. I was raped. I felt dirty, and I lost sense of security. Victim assistant helped me with counseling. They helped me write a victim impact statement, and because of that, My rapist got 20 years. With the right help, you can move on with your life.
Hi, I'm Adam McDonald, and this is your weekly sports update. The Lowndes Vikings football team crushed Colquitt County 51-0 last Friday night at Martin Stadium. It was the fourth game in a row to start the season that the Vikings played at home. This week, ESPN's second-ranked team will travel north to Tift County to play the Blue Devils. Tift is 3-1 with wins over Cook County, Roswell, and Warner Robins, but lost ugly by 28 points to Brooks. All signs point to another dominant Vikings win, which would set up a showdown between Northside, Warner Robins, and Lowndes 2 Fridays from now. The Wildcats of Valdosta are looking to rebound from a 14-point loss to the aforementioned Northside Warner Robins Eagles. The Cats are now 3-1 and will host the Warner Robin Demons at home Friday at 7:30. The Demons are 2-2, having lost to Tift County last week. Let's take a look now at the top 10 teams in Class 5A. 4 teams from Region 1 find themselves in the top 10. No surprise that Lowndes remains at number 1, while Northside stays at 3. Valdosta moves down a spot with a loss, and Coffee County stays in the top 10 with a 30-7 win over Houston County. The VSU football team opened the 2008 season at Bazemore-Hyder Stadium way back on August 23rd. Fast forward 28 days to last Saturday, and that was the Blazers' first home game since that rainy night back in August. The opponent? The 2-0 Ouachita Baptist Tigers from Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Dustin Sweetelson has more.
It was a coming-out party of sorts Saturday at Bazemore-Hyder Stadium. Weeks in the making, newly eligible Michigan State transfer T.J. Williams tamed the Ouachita Baptist Tigers with a 7-reception, 176-yard touchdown game. It was the most yards in a game for a VSU receiver since then freshman wide receiver Sherrard Reynolds had a 194-yard receiving game against Southern Arkansas in 2005. Chris Hart, who struggled in the first half as VSU went into the locker room down 3-2, got into a rhythm in the second half. The freshman finished with a 22 of 35 day, throwing for 373 yards and 3 touchdowns while piling up 33 yards on 6 carries on the ground, mostly from a 29-yard touchdown run. While the Bradenton, Florida native declared with his performance that this is his offense, head coach David Dean told me that leadership-wise, this is Tucker Pruitt's team, and he will still be mixed into the offense. In the second half, Valdosta State showed why many believe this offense has the potential to be even better than those of the Chris Hatcher, Dusty Bonner, and C.J. Lofton days, accumulating 401 yards in the half. After 21 days without football, it was nice to just see the Blazers on the field and get their first conference win. For News 11, I'm Dustin Sweetelson.
The Blazer football team will be back in action on the road this weekend against the West Alabama Tigers. West Alabama is 2-2, and they are coming off an overtime victory at home against Southern Arkansas. Former VSU running back Deion Williams started the first 3 games for the Tigers at quarterback and threw 10 touchdowns, but unfortunately he suffered a season-ending injury after tearing his ACL 3 weeks ago. VSU shut out the Tigers 37-0 last season. So far this year, the Blazers defense has only allowed 1 touchdown in 3 games. Staying with VSU, the volleyball team hit a wall recently. The team was victorious last Wednesday at home against Albany State, but was swept over the weekend by Gulf South Conference rivals West Alabama and Montevallo. The team also lost to West Florida on Tuesday. The Lady Blazers are now 9-9 this season. That's 1 win shy of last year's total. The team will host the VSU crossover presented by Courtyard by Marriott this weekend. Check out bstateblazers.com for schedules and times of the matches. And that'll do it for sports this week.
Thanks, Adam. Coming up, we'll tell you about VSU's annual Chili Cookoff.
And a familiar Georgia voice plans to say goodbye. A beautiful university.
Under the palms and pines of South Georgia.
Just above the Florida border.
Halfway between Atlanta and Orlando.
We are Valdosta
State University.
Outstanding academics,
a showplace for the arts,
and the home of champions.
Vision,
success,
and you.
Prepare for your world by coming to ours.
Valdosta State University, building for our next century.
Explore nature with your child or grandchild. You'll discover that what's really important in life is life itself. Go to ArborDay.org and check out the Arbor Day Foundation's Kids Explore Club.
Of the Arbor Day Foundation, families and across the nation.
but a treat today for all the world to share.
The new Kids Explore Club, bringing children closer to nature and closer to you.
Some kids today eat almost no fruits and vegetables at all. They're loading up on high-calorie foods and not getting the nutrition they need. Doctors know that our children need a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, high-fiber vegetarian foods to help them grow up healthy.
How many burgers do you have?
How many do you want?
All of them. And your chicken nuggets, too.
Hey, excuse me? You can't do that.
Somebody's got to do something.
Call for a free booklet or visit kidsgethealthy.org.
On Saturday, Valdosta State University hosted the annual Chile Cookoff, Chillin' with the Champs. With the help of Sunset Farm brand smoked sausages, the day was a huge success. 26 teams made up of organizations and individuals set up their tents bright and early Saturday, put on their aprons, and battled to see who had the best chili recipe. Some contestants had secret family recipes that had been passed down. They cooked all day long to impress a panel of 8 judges. At the end of the day, only one pot of chili could win the grand prize of $300. Congratulations to sorority mom and frat daddy with their unforgettable VSU chili.
The new C model of the A-10 aircraft was recently deployed from Moody Air Force Base to Afghanistan as part of Operation Enduring Freedom. This is the first time in A-10C's history at that the aircraft has been deployed. The A-10C is a part of the 75th Fighter Squadron. It is the newest upgrade of a new precision engagement weapon system will be put to the test while in Afghanistan. With this upgrade, one of the things the A-10C will have the ability to do is drop Joint Direct Attack munitions. The 75th Fighter Squadron #1 goal while they are deployed is to live up to their motto of fly, fight, and win.
Over 1,600 Hurricane Ike evacuees have begun returning back home to Texas. 35 buses began picking up evacuees from counties surrounding Fort Worth. There were 24 shelters open at the height of the evacuation. The evacuees were scattered all around the state of Texas. The city of Galveston was hit the hardest and still has very little electricity. The city has a curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and violators can be fined up to $2,000.
Advanced voting is underway here in Valdosta. Registered Lowndes County voters can vote now until October 31st for the November 4th general election at the Lowndes County Board of Elections office. The office is located at 2808 North Oak Street. The polls are open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. The Board of Elections is also offering rides to the polls to anyone who needs one. Republicans can contact the Republican Party at 460-0718, and Democrat voters can call 630-8486 for a ride. The Lowndes Board of Elections is expecting up to 15,000 Lowndes residents will come and vote early.
Coca-Cola and California-based beverage company Hansen Natural are considering a distribution deal for the Monster energy drinks. According to Friday's issue of Beverage Digest, Coca-Cola may soon control distribution of Monster in some parts of the country. Monster is the #1 energy drink according to volume in the U.S., and a partnership could boost Coca-Cola's position in the growing energy drink market. The deal would also give Monster the opportunity to distribute through Coca-Cola's European market.
The Leona Strickland Hudson estate has made another charitable donation to a Valdosta organization. 2 weeks ago, the couple donated $500,000 to the Valdosta Symphony Orchestra, and this week they have donated another $500,000, except this time they shared their generosity with the Annette Howell Turner Center for the Arts. The donation will go into an endowment that will allow the Arts Center to help fund many programs and projects. In honor of the couple's generosity, the Arts Center is naming its pottery workshop classroom facility for them. The couple has also donated to other local organizations in the past, including the Boys and Girls Club, Hospice, and the Dr. Zachariah Lecture Series.
The radio voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, Larry Munson, is calling it quits after 40 years behind the microphone in Athens. Popular for his non-journalistic style, Munson was limited to announcing just Bulldog home games in 2007 and has missed just one game in his career, a 34-3 loss to Clemson in 1990. Here's Larry Munson at his best.
This is unconscious. He kicked the whatchamacallit out of it.
driving and running with those big thighs. My God, a freshman.
Run, Lindsay, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, Lindsay, stop, Lindsay, stop, Lindsay, stop.
Going to try to kick it 60 yards, plus a foot and a half, and Butler kicked a long one, a long one. Oh, my God! Oh, my God!
We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose.
The road radio crew of Scott Howard and Eric Zier will finish out the season calling the remainder of games on the Georgia Bulldogs radio network. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Ashley Lindquist.
And I'm Paula Nosworthy. We'll see you next week.
Hello and welcome to News 11. I'm Markeisha Cannon.
And I'm Joy Williams. Coming up, we'll tell you about the country's financial crisis.
And we'll also tell you about changes in Georgia's education system. News 11 starts now. The House voted against that mega billion-dollar financial rescue plan, and the Dow suffers its biggest one-day loss in history. Now what? CNN's Jessica Doyle is in Washington with the story.
On this vote, the yeas are 205, the nays are 228. The motion is not adopted.
After a week of intense negotiation, the biggest financial bailout since the Great Depression is defeated in the House by just 12 votes. While most Democrats supported the bill, 95 voted against it. Now it's back to the negotiating table and maybe even the drawing board.
I was disappointed in the vote with the United States Congress on the economic rescue plan. We put forth a plan that was big because we got a big problem.
Another version of the plan will likely go before Congress. Negotiations could take time and will need to overcome partisan bickering. Some Republicans blame House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, saying she gave a partisan speech before the vote. Democrats say they should see past the political blame game.
There's a terrible crisis affecting the American economy. We have come together on a bill to alleviate the crisis. And because somebody hurt their feelings, they decide to punish the country.
Other Republicans believe they voted down a bad bill.
We are not babies who suck our thumbs. We had very principled reasons for voting no.
Without the $700 billion banking rescue plan, Wall Street analysts are worried that credit could dry up. That could virtually stop banks from lending to businesses and to consumers looking for new mortgages and other loans.
Georgia Congressman Sanford Bishop voted in favor of the bailout proposed on Monday. Bishop feels that if the government waits too long to make a decision, everyone may suffer the consequences in the future. Later this evening, the Senate is planning to vote on the revised plan. The new provisions include increasing the FDIC insurance cap to $250,000 and a new mental health parity, which would require insurance companies to cover mental illness at parity with physical illness. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid says it is important they work quickly in order to restore confidence in our financial system and strengthen the economy. And the House Democrats stay committed to achieving that same goal.
The Technical College System of Georgia will soon begin consolidating campuses statewide. Currently, there are 33 technical schools across the state. When the process is completed, there will only be 26 remaining. Spokesman for the Technical College System, Mike Light, said that none of the campuses will close, but the administrative operations of the colleges will merge together. Valdosta Technical College and East Central Technical College and Fitzgerald will merge together. With the merging, the state will save over $3.5 million and about $500,000 per merger. Valdosta Tech and East Central Tech will not merge until 2010, but many colleges will begin the process as of July 2009.
Two popular fast food chains are merging together. Wendy's and Arby's restaurants will become one chain. Chief Executive Officer of Triarch, Roland Smith, said, "We are very pleased that the shareholders of both Triarch and Wendy's have approved the merger, and we look forward to working together with employees of both companies in setting a new course for Wendy's Arby's Group. The two food chains will not, however, merge their menus. You will just have a choice of picking from the two in one location."
A Little Food has never turned anyone away from a get-together. With less than 50 days before the 2008 presidential election, citizens are being creative in building awareness about the importance of voting. No matter their views, volunteers are rallying up to get citizens registered before the October 6th deadline. Late last week, many people around the world held watch parties to view the presidential debate between Senators Barack Obama and John McCain. A great way for individuals to come together towards one goal, picking the next president of the United States. Although early voting has begun, many are still undecided as to whom they will choose come November 4th, and for some, the debates will be the deciding factor. 3 more debates remain for the presidential candidates, but tomorrow be sure to tune in to watch the vice presidential debate between Governor Sarah Palin and Senator Joe Biden.
Coming up, we'll tell you about filling up your tank in Atlanta.
And Jenny Long is staying by with the weather. Stay with us.
There's a naval battle being fought on land by forces armed only with commitment and compassion. Because every day, Navy volunteers combat homelessness, hunger, loneliness, and illiteracy by initiating community programs that touch people's lives. And while their exploits aren't honored with medals, it's hard to imagine a more moving tribute.
I got a ham sandwich and some pretzels. You want some pretzels?
Nah, I should some cookies or something.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like an orange.
Get it. Hey, Jay, you got anything?
Don't ask Jay.
Why not?
Jay never has anything.
What's up with that?
Hey, you on a diet or something?
Yeah, a diet. Jay's on a diet. That's all right, man. We understand. My mom's on a diet.
Everyone with alcohol and drug addiction is in the same boat. With treatment, you can find solid ground. For drug and alcohol information and treatment referral for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
So, Jenny, what's going on with the weather?
Well, let's take a look at the record highs and record lows. Back in 1933, it was a record high of 93 and a record low of 46 in 1967. It'll be clear and cool tonight with 53, but be sure to wear your jackets. Tomorrow it's going to be sunny with a high of 79 and a low of 49, so wear a jacket to the game tomorrow. This weekend it looks beautiful, but on Sunday it's partly cloudy. Back to you, Jory.
Thanks, Jenny. Atlanta's gas shortage is expected to last about 2 more weeks. As residents continue desperate searches for stations with gasoline, many people have become victims of stolen gasoline. Nashville experienced fuel shortages much like those in Metro Atlanta, but 80% of the city is now being supplied. The gas shortage began when Hurricanes Gustav and Ike temporarily shut down Gulf Coast refineries. All but 3 of the 56 refineries are back online, but gas flow through major pipelines is still restricted.
As of Friday, over 2,000 Lowndes County voters cast their votes during the early elections. That is almost 4% of the 40,000 registered voters in Lowndes County. The early voting dates were extended by Georgia's Secretary of State's office because of the expected record-setting year for voting. Early elections will continue until November 4th at the Board of Elections office on North Oak Street Extension. On November 4th, all citywide precincts will be open to cast your ballots.
ABC's World News Tonight is not coming to Valdosta this Friday. ABC has had to cancel the southern portion of the 50 States in 50 Days tour to the economic crisis. No official word has been given on when or if the tour will be rescheduled. Charles Gibson and his crew will remain in New York at ABC headquarters.
This past Saturday, the VSU Counseling Center and Moody Air Force Base hosted a presentation of the play Yellow Dress in the Bailey Science Center. Our own Paula Nosworthy has more.
All around the world, there are millions of women who are victims of sexual assault and domestic violence every year. There have been many women who have lived to tell their story, but unfortunately, many women who have not. The play Yellow Dress presented the story of a woman that did not live to tell her story. Deanna Brisbois, a 23-year-old woman, was involved in an abusive relationship before she ended up dying in a car accident. The play was created by Deanna's family through the Deanna Fund and Deanna's Educational Theater to help prevent dating violence. I caught up with a representative of Moody Air Force Base to see how they became a part of this event, and with Stacy Fisher, who played Deanna, to discuss what kind of impact she wanted Yellow Dress to have on the audience.
Once a month, there are several agencies on base who are in the business of helping people, whether it's with treatment, therapy, prevention, education. We decided as a group to sponsor something that dealt with relationship issues in a non-traditional way. And I'd seen this play several years ago and got the group's permission, and it's a go.
The impact I want this play to have on the audience is that if anyone is in an unhealthy relationship at any level, that they will hear this play and know that they're not alone and seek help.
Today marks the beginning of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and there will be many activities hosted by the VSU Counseling Center as well as various community organizations. For more information on the activities or domestic violence and sexual assault, you can contact the VSU Counseling Center at 229-333-5940 or The Haven at 229-244-1765. For News 11's In Focus, I'm Paula Nosworthy.
Albert Farley joins us in a moment with sports. Albert, what are we looking at this week?
Coming up this week, we'll have the latest on the condition of former Valdosta State Blazer Richard Collier. We'll also have information on the upcoming Major League Baseball playoffs and all of your local football.
Stay with us.
For me, it's giving the best of myself.
For me, it's the professional team environment and the mutual respect that I share with my colleagues.
For me, it's providing my patients with the best and safest care possible.
For me, it's having the latest in healthcare technologies and the privilege of providing the best healthcare to America's veterans.
We are the nurses of VA. VAcareers.com, a career in caring.
Valdosta State University's Small Business Development Center provides consulting, seminars, and research to entrepreneurs.
As my business has faced new challenges, I've seen the benefits of an ongoing relationship with VSU's Small Business Development Center. They've made a huge difference.
Why not add your name to the growing number of clients taking advantage of free and confidential services and take your business to the next level?
Life may not be as easy as pushing a button, but with e-file from the IRS, your taxes can be. It's the fastest, surest way to get your taxes behind you. So ask your tax preparer or visit us on the web.
Hi, I'm Albert Farley, and this is your weekly sports update. In sad news for the Valdosta State family, former Blazers offensive lineman Richard Collier is paralyzed below the waist and has his left leg amputated. He has, however, been updated to stable condition. Collier, who played for Jacksonville Jaguars, was shot several times while sitting in his car in the early hours of September 3rd. No motive has been discovered behind the shooting, but investigators believe that Collier was targeted. Collier was an All-American for VSU in 2005 and won a national championship with the team in 2004. The Major League Baseball playoffs start today, and it would be wise for Valdosta State football fans to pull for the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox won the World Series both in 2004 and 2007, and it just so happens that the Blazers followed suit, winning the Division II National Championship in the same years. But the Blazers must go through Delta State, the only team to beat the Blazers last year. VSU's TV, Dustin Sweetelson, has more.
It was here at Bazemore-Hyder Stadium last year that the Valdosta State Blazers blew a 24-point lead to the Delta State Statesmen. Even though the Blazers went on to win the 2007 National Championship, revenge is on the minds of everyone associated with Valdosta State.
We looked at that. We looked to see when we were going to play them, and there's a lot of guys that are on the team now that were part of that game, and you know, there's still a bitter taste in our mouth from that. We remember it. Hopefully we'll go out and play well and avenge that loss that we had last year.
Absolutely. We all knew it was a Thursday night games on TV. It's a short week, but nobody cares about that. We're just ready to get after them again.
Man, since I've been here, that's been a game that's been talked about a whole lot. You know, a lot of the guys, you know, they talked about what happened last year.
There's a little bit a different intensity in practice. There's a little bit more hitting. You know, you can tell there's a bounce in everybody's step. There's excitement. Number one, it's a Thursday night game, and every time we have a Thursday night game, we get a little bit excited to play, and it's on TV. But then you couple that with the fact that it's Delta State that's coming in.
I think the team looks pretty good. You know, the offense, we've definitely stepped it up. We've accomplished a whole lot. You know, everybody's working hard. The defense, you know, they always practice hard. So, and the special teams is looking pretty good too.
There's something different in practice this week, man. There's a whole new energy here this week just for them. And it's fun. I'm excited to see what we can do and what we can put together for this Thursday.
Last year's meeting between these two teams was a blackout. Fans were encouraged to wear black to the stadium. Last week, the University of Georgia didn't fare so well in their attempt at a blackout against the University of Alabama. This week, fans are encouraged to get the red out here at Bazemore-Hyder Stadium. This game will also be featured on regional TV. Hopefully, the teams from Georgia will have more success in getting the red out this week. For News 11, I'm Dustin Sweetelson.
Former VSU quarterback Willie Copeland had a stellar career for the Blazers, and now he's looking to make it on a professional level. Copeland was cut from the Miami Dolphins rookie camp in May and returned to VSU where he served as a graduate assistant. Last week he tried out for the Calgary Stampeders of the Canadian Football League, and the Stampeders signed him to the practice squad. Copeland joins two other Blazers from the 2007 season that are playing pro football. Gerald Davis plays for the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the CFL, and Maurice Leggett plays for the Kansas City Chiefs of the NFL. If the Lions Vikings want to claim their fourth title in 5 years, they will have to beat Northside Warner Robins. Lions is currently on a 19-game winning streak, and Northside is on a 35-game winning streak. The two Titans will clash at Martin Stadium in Valdosta on Friday at 8 p.m. The game will go a long way in deciding who will be the Region 1 champion. The Valdosta High Wildcats are looking to rebound from back-to-back losses. The Wildcats were stuffed on fourth down at the goal line against Warner Robins last Friday and lost 7-0. This Friday, the Cats will travel to Moultrie to face Colquitt County Packers. Colquitt has lost 2 games in a row also. The loser of the game will fall to 0-3 in the region and most likely fall out of playoff contention. Let's take a look at the top 10 teams in the Class 5A. 4 of the teams from Region 1 find themselves in the top 10. Lions remains at number 1, while Northside stays at number 3, but that could change based on their game this Friday. Valdosta falls to 10th after their loss, and Coffee is up to number 8 after the win their 5th straight game this season. And finally, the Lady Blazers volleyball team has done it. The team beat West Georgia yesterday 3-1 to win their first Gulf South Conference match since October 2006. The victory has the Lady Blazers 10th this season, which ties last year's total. The team will travel to St. Augustine this weekend to face Flagler and Barry.
Thanks, Albert. Coming up, we'll tell you about a local music festival.
And we'll also tell you about the Hehara Honeybee Festival this week. Stay with us.
Millions of Americans suffer from poverty, but passionate people like you can do something about it. Join VISTA. You can teach teens how to mentor children at risk, recruit volunteers to feed the hungry, or help homeless veterans find shelter and employment. AmeriCorps Vista has more than 6,500 opportunities for you to help fight poverty. Go to vista.gov or call 800-942-2677.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
Oh dear, I can't afford that.
Charge it. You can pay it off later.
Not so fast, credit card guy.
Savings man.
Don't let him entice you, ma'am. Credit card guy can lead you to big trouble. You need a savings plan.
You're right, savings man.
Get this ballpark estimate worksheet at choosetosave.org. It will help you get started.
Gee, thanks, savings man.
No, thank you.
So visit choosetosave.org and get your ballpark estimate today.
My father spent his last teenage birthday in a ring of fire. I will not die here, he said to himself. 50 years later, he whispered the same thing to me from the hospital bed.
Hospice provides the end-of-life care you and your loved ones want and need. It's available to everyone.
With the help of the people at our local hospice, he got his wish, and so did we.
Hospice care, comfort and compassion when it's needed most.
Every fall, the city of Waycross comes alive in the cool night air with the bounce of a legend. News 11's Adam Logan has more.
The annual Graham Parsons Guitar Pull and Music Festival in Waycross, Georgia, is a celebration of the singer's tragically short life and work. Parsons, who is considered to be the founder of cosmic American music, a mixture of country, blues, gospel, and rock and roll, spent his childhood in Waycross before leaving for California to make music with the Byrds, the Rolling Stones, and Emmylou Harris. Originally planned to be a chance for local musicians to gather in founder Dave Griffin's backyard to pay tribute to Parsons, the festival has since changed venues multiple times and grown in size.
We continue to this day to get the support of a lot of local, regional, and area bands come and give up their time and their talent and their energy free, all because of the love of Graham Parsons music.
This year is the largest on record, with 32 artists performing on 2 stages in 36 hours. With the proceeds being fed back into the company to produce next year's festival, it should be even bigger. For News 11 in Focus, I'm Adam Logan.
It's that time of year again. The Honeybee Festival in Hayhira kicks off today with a breakfast in the community center. The week will be filled with many fun-filled activities. The festival will run until this Saturday with the grand finale of the always exciting parade. The rest of the day will be filled with entertainment, a 5K run, dog show, bike ride, and many more fun-filled activities. Today, the Hayhira Honeybee Pageant will begin and the results will be announced on Thursday night. Each year, the Honeybee Festival draws thousands of people to the small South Georgia town. To see details of the schedule of this week's events, go to www.hayhira.ga.us.
Do you ever just want to get away for a weekend but don't want to spend an arm and a leg getting there? If the answer is yes, maybe you should check out the Spirit of Sewanee Music Park just 45 minutes south of Valdosta in Live Oak, Florida. VSU-TV's Greg Rothstein is at the park with more.
I'm standing here in Live Oak, Florida, at the Spirit of Sewanee Music Park, where many people have enjoyed the thrill of a diverse complement of live music acts.
Along with live music acts, Sewanee Music Park offers many more activities and attractions that is sure to entertain anyone.
Well, we've got many things to offer at the park. We have everything from a horse riding stable, canoe outpost, white sandy beach. We border the Sewanee River for many miles. We've got putt-putt golf, a disc golf course, Craft Village.
Craft Village offers a unique gift shopping experience with merchandise like clothes, fine scrolled wood boxes, shelves, wildlife representation, and many more. But once you get more towards the center of the park, its beauty is unavoidable.
Look right behind me, the Reese Lake. You come out to the park and it's about as relaxing as it possibly can be. And then beyond that, the energy of people and fellowship and bringing the community together and enjoying fantastic music when we have activities.
Live music is definitely the main attraction at the Spirit of Sewanee Music Park, and approximately 18 to 20 times a year, the park holds major events. Camping is offered at all major events, and cabins can be rented year-round. It is something that can appeal to all age groups, and the park is really urging VSU students to come down.
For those folks at Valdosta State University that haven't been down here, we'd really like to get you here and introduce you to the facility sometime. We're awful close to where you live and go to school, and if we can get you down here, my guess is you're going to want to return.
For VSU News 11, I'm Greg Rothstein.
On October 4th, the 17th annual River Cleanup will begin focusing on 4 rivers in the Valdosta area, which coincides with a statewide campaign to clean and preserve 7,150 miles of rivers and streams in Georgia. This river cleanup is sponsored by Keep Lowndes Valdosta Beautiful and is in its 4th year in Lowndes County. Registration for volunteers will begin October 4th at 8:30 a.m. The event will need between 75 and 100 volunteers. Anyone interested can contact Erin Strickland at Keep Lowndes Valdosta Beautiful at 671-2497 or 671-2499.
Hispanic Heritage Month is here, and the Modern and Classical Languages Department will be hosting a study abroad forum on Tuesday, October 7th from 6:30 to 7:30 in West Hall, room 138. At the forum, students who have studied abroad in Peru, Mexico, and Spain will share what they experienced while studying abroad in Latin America. This will help to give interested students a first-hand look into the VSU Study Abroad program.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jory Williams.
And I'm Markeisha Cannon. We'll see you next week. So.